TFU by being a good neighbor and ruining Halloween. It was Halloween, and I was driving home after picking up my kid from school. Our neighborhood was filled with amazing decorations, so we decided to take a little detour to enjoy the festive spirit. As we drove, I noticed a trash can that had blown into the road. I pulled over, and my little backseat driver and I agreed that moving it back to the curb would be the right thing to do. I hopped out of the car and approached the can. The lid was open and lying on the street, so I stepped on it to lift the can back up. But as I did, I slipped and fell face first into the edge of the can. I quickly stood up, grumbling to myself, and put the can back where it belonged. But then I felt something warm on my glasses. I touched my head and realized I had cut myself right at my hairline. Blood was everywhere. I got back in the car and said, "Well, that was silly." My kid agreed and asked if we needed to go to the doctor. I buried my face in a spare hoodie to stop the bleeding and told him no. I called my husband to explain what happened, and he jokingly told me to stop saving the world. We continued to admire the decorations, though I was mostly focused on my bleeding head. When we got home, we headed to the bathroom to clean up. After seeing how bad the cut was, I decided I needed to go to urgent care. The pain was intense, and I found myself crying as I drove, struggling to keep one eye open. Thankfully, it wasn't a long drive. When I arrived, I was the only patient, which was a relief. The receptionist was kind, and soon a nurse practitioner came over. She cleaned me up and wrapped my head in gauze, but said I'd need to go to the ER. While waiting for the ambulance, I learned I would need staples, and the paramedic mentioned they might have to shave my head. I wasn't thrilled about that. At the ER, they checked me over, and since I was coherent, they sent me to the waiting room. I was covered in blood and pumpkin guts, fitting for Halloween. After a couple of hours, I was called back for treatment. They gave me some pain medication and a new bandage. The only relief I felt was when I pressed down on the gauze, so I was grateful for the meds. I waited longer for a room to open up, and after some more checks and the CT scan, they decided to give me 2 staples instead of shaving my head. Let me tell you, it hurt. Once the doctor left, I grabbed some leftover numbing cream and applied it to my gauze, which helped a bit. They found a potential bleed on the CT scan, so I was told I might need to stay longer for monitoring. Fortunately, the head trauma team decided I could go home after being observed. They gave me instructions for pain management and advised me to avoid screens and heavy lifting. Now, about 20 hours later, I'm at home. My kids are calling me a zombie because of the staples. But apparently, I'm not allowed to eat their brains. My husband did a fantastic job making sure their Halloween was still fun, and we have the whole weekend to carve pumpkins. Still, I can't shake the feeling of guilt for ruining our Halloween. So, there you have it. I tried to do a good deed, ended up cutting my head open, and spent Halloween in the ER. I'm not supposed to be on my phone right now, but I hope you can find some humor in my misadventure. I know I will once the staples stop hurting.